Hello everyone, my name is Notepad and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today we're going to finally figure out what the fuck we're doing for Crisis. Or you could call it a crisis of design. Yeah, no, I didn't really have anything else there either. Yeah, we're going to finally kind of figure this out. We worked on a little bit on Friday, kind of getting the basics done, but today we really want to hammer everything out. If things go smoothly, we progress with the game on Wednesday. If things don't, we might have a secondary preliminary stream. Kind of depends on how things go. But generally speaking, feeling confident. I think confident is where I think I've got it hammered out. It's just about putting everything of here into this. That's really all it boils down to. Before we begin, there were two things that I felt like talking about a little bit because I find it funny. And I hate God, apparently. This is Gizmodo, otherwise known as that terrible fucking site that I hate and I can't have nice things on. But welcome to Gizmodo. This got linked, so obviously I felt compelled to go over it. Welcome to the 20 best tabletop role-playing games of 2022. Yes. The 20 best tabletop role-playing games of 2022. Let's do it, boys. It's gotta have something, right? Yeah, let's fucking go. You know, crowdfunding has firmly established itself in the ecosystem. I mean, that it did that a few years ago, but we don't have to talk about that. Let's see what Gizmodo and Linda Cottiga. What I started the Yoda fan club. Jon Snow is having a really bad time, actually. Wow, you publish a lot of shit. Cool. Staff writer, IO9, about games, other nerd shit. Currently fixated. AMC's interview with a vampire. Cool. Alright, let's do it, everybody. Let's start this. Oh, fuck. Yeah, welcome to Journey Through the Radiant Citadel, groundbreaking adventure anthology that is excluded from tabletop RPGs. Yeah, this is yeah, I like it. I like the implication that D&D isn't like this is a full game, mind you. This is 20 best tabletop role-playing games of 2022. 5e, this is a brand new tabletop role-playing game experience. We may earn a commission, yeah. Like, I do respect that immensely. How they just imply that good old, our favorite role-playing game, that dragon game, is in fact not a role-playing game anymore. Just an engine. So, what's in... Oh. Horde of Forged in the Dark. That's cool. We actually went over a game by these two. I was thoroughly unimpressed with it. I really didn't give a shit. Okay, so We Women Are Werewolves. Non-binary story game. Deals with queer identity that is not only deeply personal for you, but also extremely approachable for people who do not identify as queer. Use how to maneuver through society, use cards to prompt your actions, spark conversation. Driven metaphor, you must find out where you belong, both in your family and outside of it. Have any of you heard of this before? I sure as hell haven't. Alright, cool. Cool, okay, good start everyone. Hello Manly, we're going over the top 20 tabletop role-playing games of all time in 2022. Where'd you find this? 9th level games, what have you done? Oh, you're these guys with Awesome World. You're these guys, aren't you? Wow, that's a thing, alright. Okay, good start. Let's see what the next one is. Swords of the Serpentine. Never heard of this one before. Swords of the Serpentine. Yeah, let's Pelgrim Press. Oh, Gumshoes. It's Gumshoe, everybody. Cool. Okay, it's gotta be Into the Odd. I've been able to... Okay, a game in the satire of its own setting. Players' circumstances around them with excellent RMS, a dungeon delver, old school role-playing game, and so it's OSR. Cool. I've heard good things about Into the Odd. People say they like it. Yeah, let's see what the next one. Torque. I'm gonna hit this, and it's gonna be PBTA. It's gonna be PBTA, isn't it? No. Oh. Is this even a role-playing game? This is $55. Oh. Yeah, okay. So, all right. Okay. All right. I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs. That's I think I'm just going to do the F-Zero RPG. Did I ever do the F-Zero RPG? You know what? I need to check something fast. Did I ever do the F-Zero? No, that's the... Yes, we hit 800 subscribers, by the way. Go team. Did I ever do the F-Zero RPG? I never did the F-Zero RPG. I'm gonna have to make a video of that because I really enjoyed it. All right, so Torque exists. I've never heard of this game, but cool. You know, like we'll look at this. Maybe we'll add it to the... Oh. Okay, let's... Notorious. Fully admit that solo games are hard sells. Excellent. Okay, it's a solo RPG. Didn't we go already over this? No, we went over Bounty Hunter, which is the exact same thing. No, that's diceless. Okay, let's... Kickflip over a quantum... Oh, Slug Blast. Cool. Lay sheets, stickers and pins. Cool. Looks like it's a skateboarding RPG. Neat. All right, gonna have to remember this one. That's all right. What's our it's we love Morkborg. I'm having a fucking stroke. Okay. Yeah, Morky Borgies. The price of coal. Deck to prompt cards. First responders. Cool. All right. Monty Cook Games. You're gonna be... Cipher Systems. Okay. No, this is just a supplement. This isn't an RPG. This is a supplement. Okay. Good news. We did it, everybody. We found a supplement book. Again. What are we doing? What are we doing today? Today we're going to be technically going over the next game, otherwise known as the Crisis game, but I felt it was necessary to go over the top 20 best tabletop role-playing games of 2022, most of which are either games that already exist or have been supplements. I hate you, Gilla. The One Ring. Okay, we've got something interesting. I mean, it's a previous update, but good, cool. All right, I need to go over One Ring. Neat. All right. Apollo 47. This is the one that gives you an entire the entire fucking like mission manual. I remember that. Yeah, that's the one that gives you like, it's like a 5-page game with like 100 like it's like 600 fucking pages of like mission manual shit. Crescendo of Violence. Cool. All right. Neato. What's this game? Hardback Osprey Games. It's an Osprey game. All right. We got something to look at. I've been liking Osprey. Osprey's been kind of fascinating the past while because they've got some games that are like Jackals, for instance. That's kind of interesting. I saw a lot of I've been seeing a lot of this one, Heirs to Heresy. People have been really wanting me to go over Sigil and Shadow. They've been really wanting me to go over this. So color me interest. Tattoo. A slow knife. Conspiracy bored and thought to yourself, I'd love to be deranged one day. Pinboard making and yarn stringing as a mechanic. Himbos of myth and metal. Let's everybody be a himbo. If I see a woman there, I'm going to kill someone. I'm seeing. Oh Lord. Let's keep going. No, that's my only chance. I want to do this. Control C. Then I want to hit Poppy. I don't know what's going on there. There are women playing my himbo game. What's the fucking point? Okay, we gotta keep going. The Monster Care Squad. I've heard of this one. This one's done stuff, apparently. Looks a little bit... Thought that said Snuff Quest, and I was getting a little bit worried. Alright, I will keep my eyes out for this one. Monster Care Squad. That might go well in the I can't believe it's not Pokemon Quest. No Curious Case. And wow, that looks like playing RimWorld. I'm going to kill. And then die. Wait. Probably the game I'm most hyped to receive in physical form. Die RPG. Like, I've played with my friends. Okay, good. They've actually played it. Yeah, this game just came out, apparently, and it's also the top 20. I hate this woman. I hate everything I just read there. Good job, team. We did it. We did it, everybody. Torque seems interesting. Yeah, go do college. Fuck is Gizmodo? Gizmodo is like, I think the best way to. I think the big thing with like Gizmodo is like it's a lot of like pop culture stuff. It's like, hey kids, you like the Avatar? That's what it does. It's pop culture stuff. Hence why legitimately there was only like one new game in there. And it wasn't even, it was a bunch of indie shit. Like, yep, cool, I love it. Talking about new things, welcome to Crisis. Welcome to Crisis. We have a crisis on our hands, otherwise known as, we need to convert all this shit over to the real new version. Alright, everybody, hopefully everybody's right. So, generally looking here, what we ended up doing was we got rid of this, got rid of the horror version, yes, I know, very sad, and the Doom Future. We got rid of that. I also scrapped the mech system. I didn't think it was fully appropriate for what we were doing. And technically, out of the remaining 3, I got an idea. I got a big idea. Well, most likely this one kind of going away, but it also wasn't. I've got an idea. Pretty much, why not? Let's stick with some of the most basic concepts of Crisis Heroine. Because we're in this deep, we may as well do it. Very basic though, we're going to be using a little bit of SMT's cosmology. Pretty much, the forces of law and the forces of chaos have come to Earth to duke it out in the final war. This is it. It's Jover. Let's fucking go. Demons vs. Angels. Let's do this. Humanity did not consent. Effectively, what this is going to be is outside our little fortified, little awesome little cities, literally angels and demons are fucking trying to murder one another. It is complete anarchy outside the walls. You're a bunch of guys who have pretty much had a fucking collar strapped to your neck and being like, go out there and kill as many as you can. Pretty much, I'm going to be putting in a little bit of, if you haven't noticed, I've been watching a little bit of GTFO. This is GTFO. It's a game that came out, God, what was it, about a year ago? Did GTFO come out? Jesus, 2019, it's been out for like 3 years, fuck me. But yeah, GTFO is a game effectively about you going down underneath and fighting horrifying murder zombies. But they're not really zombies, they're infected. But here's a secret. You see these guys here? You see our daring heroes? These guys ain't heroes. These guys are horrible human beings that have done terrible things. You're on the bottom list. You're on the worst aspects of everything. You are a human being, and everybody hates you. Go out there and die. Oh, someone's Notepad's 2020 Top 10 RPGs video coming out. And I'm going to try to get it out by Wednesday the 28th. That's the plan. Or more accurately, it's going to be the noties. Da 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 da. Bring. Yeah, that's going to be pretty much next week. I'm going to be dedicated to getting the noties set up. And yes, don't worry. There will be consumer voting. So get ready, everybody, for your voting opportunity when you get to vote for the best games of 2022. Otherwise known as anything you kind of feel like, including games I went over. Let me actually check on my phone. I got the awards already set. Why is my phone off? That's kind of weird. I already got the awards set out. I already know what I want to do for those. And I hope you know I'm gonna get like 5 calls from my ma here soon. Because I accidentally turned my phone off. Hello, phone. Behold, the only woman who talks to me, my phone. Let's see. Yeah, I use my phone to take notes. I'm that guy. Don't worry, everybody. We gaming. So our current awards that we have. Don't need this. Come on. Come on, load up, phone. I believe in you so much, Mr. Phone. Yeah, this is GTFO, as this loads up slightly. One of the ideas what I wanted to get across is you are very expendable. I wanted to get across that you are expendable. You need death is an inconvenience. Fucking spell properly. And one of the more pressing matters I needed to do is the idea of do not go quietly. Because the guys out there, the forces of law and the forces of chaos, neither of them really like humanity. You're a problem for them. Law wants to subjugate you, chaos wants to eat you. So the entire concept is you're a bunch of effectively death row prisoners sent out there to do shit. Fuck these demons up, fuck these angels up, get the hell back to the city. Do your job or we pop your collars. And I think doing that is going to give me a little bit of room to maneuver around. It's also going to let me add in some of the ideas of spells, for example. Because it's like, yeah, of course you've learned some things out there because you're you're trying to survive against the horrible, the horrible reality of life. So no shit, no shit you're gonna. Let me use notes self. I have a little. No, that's the wrong note self. Is that the right? Yes. The current note, the current list of things on the noties. We have the Golden Notie, which is my personal favorite. Notepad's Shit Pit, one I hate the most. The Jizreel Award. The Up and Beyond Award. The Choo Choo Hero Award. The Notesona Fashion Show, the Autofellatio Award, and Consortium Choice Award. Those are currently the ones that are available. I'm debating on adding a few more, so if you have any suggestions of what awards you would like to see, feel free to tell me. Is this going to be completely bullshit? Yeah. Because I don't run award shows, because I'm a sociopath. So, getting back on track. the Goldie, but not the Sylvian Bronzy. I might do something like that. Like here's like top 1, 2, 3 for each of them. It kind of depends on what I kind of depends on what's available. Because you get things like the Golden Choo Choo Award, which is like, yeah, this is like a thing that people are going to win. But yeah, generally speaking, we have this. This is our basic idea. We combine these all together and form effectively SMT nightmare reality. We're all going to die. You're a bunch of. I think the best way to kind of think about it would be GTF. It would be a GTFO by way of SMT. Do not go quietly. You're the fucking neutral route. You're not law. You're not chaos. You're just trying to survive. And I think that should work pretty reliably for like what the plan I want to do with this particular game is, which is explore, Crisis Heroine a little bit. Because Crisis Heroine is a game that kind of deserves to be talked about a bit more because it's interesting. So, the basic concept, let me just open up my Crisis Heroine folder. Yes, this is the correct one. Hello, Crisis Heroine. Oh, let me button that wrong button. Yeah, let's get to it. So the basic idea is, again, it's going to be, vaguely futuristic, obviously, because 20 minutes in the future is usually the best way of doing these things. But we can do the feature, like, one of the big things is we can keep the feature system, and generally speaking, the features are, like, let's just really, fuck it, let's just break this down and, like, what's essential. Like, the absolute essential is going to be the combat, let's see, assured action, combat, crisis system, which is going to be a very important aspect because arguably that's one of the most important aspects of the entire fucking game. We do this, we do that. We need to put you there, we need to put you right there, we need to put you there, which is going to be the idea of character. So if we keep the basics in here, we can keep the feature. We can keep the features because at the end of the day, the features in Crisis Heroine are like this. You're gonna choose two effectively. Actually, let's do a full run through. So you're going to have your work, which is then going to go immediately in physical feature, which is then going to go into a personality feature. Yeah, so effectively what you're going to have at the end of the day, so if we were to just roll, let's just roll a random set of characters. Okay. So if we roll a 35, for example, 35, we're going to get a 1, 1, 1. So you're going to get 3 effectively, so your work is worth 3 attributes. Your physical features are going to be worth 3 attributes. Your personality feature, living S, is going to be 3 this personality is worth 4 attributes. So at the end of the day, you're going to have 10. You're going to have 10 attribute points. Attributes and points in total spread around. If we here, you can kind of see these are going to be our basic spread around 4 attributes. So we're going to have body works, agility works, intelligence works. The only one's a little bit odd is magic. Magic is the one that's going to be the one that's going to get changed the most in any crisis system. Spirit would work. Wait, is it? Oh yeah, and add 2 free stats. So in total, you'd have the 2. I always forget that. You have 12 attributes in total. So you have plus 2 for. So 12 attributes in total. So your basic average is going to be 3 across the board, for example. That's your basic. Magic, we could probably sub it out for spirit, because effectively what this is going to be the everything else. Like, this is going to be, I think, more like setting dependent. And that setting dependency is going to be the one that's going to be a little bit odd, because it's like, what do you change it with? Again, spirit here seems the most appropriate, which, even hell, you could probably just say it's magic, but I would say spirit works a little bit better. Or if you want to be a little bit weird, you can say mystic. But actually, what would be a good, see, if you really want to be, if I really want to be pretentious about it, I would call it sense. Like, you have the sense for things. Because there isn't really, because the interesting thing about Crisis Heroine is that there's no social system. There's no social or anything like that. Which again, that's one of those ideas where you kind of need to keep in a note about, because there's no social system, no, like, there's a social system, but that's a little bit different. Like, there's no social system, there's no, like, charisma checks at all. Generally speaking, it's very, like, very simple in that regard, which is interesting, mind. Not saying that's, like, bad or anything. Like, that's actually very fascinating. So, keeping that in mind, I think using sense would work. The idea of, like, this is your ability to sense things that are not natural. Which, if we want to keep, like, a generic version, we can probably do this, like, keep it as sense. Like, yeah. So, if we keep the feature, we do work 3 attributes, physical features, personality features, plus 2 free stat points, for a total of 12 stat points in total. Ooh. Then we go down here to our basic attributes, so effectively 4 stats in total. So our 4 stats in total are going to be body, agility, intelligence, and sense. I'm getting a phone call. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Alright. So, if we're going under this basic idea, like really simple set of ideas, we got our 4 stats in total, these are going to feed into each. Because a character in Crisis Heroine is composed at their absolute most basic idea of their stats, their attributes, spells, and equipment. Actually, it would be their crisis acts, crisis abilities, and then their equipment. At their most basic, I guess relationships count. Yeah, so this would be the most basic ideas of these. This wouldn't be too complicated to really worry about. Again, Crisis Heroine actually has a lot of stuff going for it. It's just the horny RPG. That's one of the things, like, you have to remember. Like, this is just the really fucking horny RPG. And there's nothing wrong with the horny, however. So attributes, we could probably change this to, like, resources. Like, that would be Then we have to break it down into it would be conjuration, and evocation. What we want, if we can be a little bit cheeky, this is extra money, effectively extra money versus extra magic. Extra power. This is the dichotomy. Do you want extra power or do you want extra money to buy more equipment? If we change this to like resources, resources and be a good one. Because pretty much how magic is gaining yeah, again, that's one of those ideas. Like we can expand on things, but we're just gonna go through here and just see what we can convert, what needs to change. Things like this. The basic idea I have for this setting is, again, humanity is effectively the bugs inside of a giant fuck off war between these. World's been fucking devastated, and you're being sent out there to recover shit, find things, kill things, and generally be the fodder. You are not expected to come back. If you come back, that's awesome. If you don't, what a shame. Is because of this, we also have to deal with SMT magic bullshit. Being like, yes, there's magic. What we can actually do, maybe, is we can combine it with, maybe we do something like this, salvation versus damnation, which is more like holy gear, which is more like law gear. You know, something like this, effectively. So it's like, hey, you have more resources. You can buy a gun. Like, like, yeah, you actually have, like, you're getting funded resources to, you know, buy things. Salvation is, hey, yeah, you are more in tune with the law, with, you know, with the angelic force. Just gonna call them law and chaos because that's easier. Versus damnation, which is your gear rank there. Not strictly extra MP in any way, unless we want to add, like, maybe we add like attunement, for example, and attunement is extra MP, which it's just going to be mind points, which is fine for me. But we do something like that, and we bump up the, let's see, it would be, you get 10 points among 2 for 10 points among 2, so that would be 5. If we want to keep everything relatively there, we want 3 among, if we want 3 among 4, we could do 12 attributes. 12 attributes, minimum of 1, maximum of 10. So a basic distribution here might be like resources 6, salvation 3, damnation 1, attunement 1. So it would be 6, 9, 10, 11. Oh, there we go. So it's like, okay, you're not going to be using any of your magic bullshit. That's not a thing you're going to be doing. You're not going to be using any chaos gear. You're going to be doing your best to get like actual angelic weapons or angelic tools to deal with it. Probably we can also do this with a little bit, if we want to be a little bit more conservative, what we can do is just call it like karma. Karma could work, which is just like your non-human gear rank. Using them, maybe no min. The gear might overlap. Yeah, I'm thinking about just changing salvation damnation to karma, which is pretty much like, yeah, this is just your attunement to using things that are just not human. Being like, yeah, this is like a fucking, you know, like clearly a magic weapon or magic gear. You can use it now because your karma is high enough. Yeah, I think doing karma, we can amp up the Asian aspect a little bit. If you want to be operator as fuck, you have high resources. Or do we do... No. We do minimum 0, maximum 10. So having 0 in one of these means 0 extra MP. You can't use chaos stuff. You can't use law stuff. You don't have any access to human gear. If you have resources zeros, like, you're a fucking and people are scared shitless of you. Because you're going to be way more attuned to things. You're going to be the one to be able to use the magic. Hence why you probably have a bomb collar strapped to you. Cool. Magic. If we do this, I'm getting pinged. Who's pinging me? Hello, Steep. How are you? Why do you stream every time I stream? Ira, why do you do this to me? I want to watch you, sheep, but unfortunately, I have work to do. It's the rise and grind. Because the best part is, after this, I get to start going over things for this weekend. Because, guess what, everybody? Hopefully you're all ready for Evangelion Saturdays. Oh boy, we're going to be going over Eva games. Or more accurately, we're going to be going over the Japanese Eva game. And every single variation of Ad Eva. Every single one I can find, except maybe first edition. Yeah, that one's a top 10 things Notepad's not looking forward to. That bullshit. I'm ready though. I have the timeline. I need to expand the timeline because I damn well know there is actually. I know. Delta techniques. Yeah, that actually may not be a bad idea because if we use the idea of like magic, we're converting it to more like mind points. Now we could probably do like techniques. You know what we can reference? Ironically enough, I've played a lot of Vermintide 2. I think they do the same thing with Dark Tide. I think that's the new one. Where there is a Sienna. Sienna in Vermintide 2, VT2, has a system of pretty much, the best way to think about it is like overcharge. The more spells you use, the faster you build it up. If you hit too high, you explode. And everybody around you suffers. So what we could probably do is kind of play on this a little bit for like someone who's doing like a magic build. Like someone like you want to go hardcore in the magic, it's going to be extremely powerful spells. Yeah, so we do something like that. I think that could work for spells, but we convert magic strictly into techniques. Because you're going to choose we could do like choose, I would say choose 5 we'll say 4 techniques. You know, choose 4 techniques / spells. Yeah, no. Yeah, 4 techniques. So you're good. So it's gonna be like, oh yeah, you can throw a fireball as this. You know, your fucking brain's gonna be melting alongside it, but hey, you did it. Hey, less than an hour late this time. Yeah, welcome aboard. So if we do this, we do techniques. We do just basic 4 techniques. Use 4 techniques, but they are going to be split between. You can probably split them between training, non-magical, versus spells. I'm going to call them spells for now. I can probably come up with a better name for them, which is going to be strictly magical. And it's like, hey, this can also, you know, fun fact, we can also tie this to this system over here. So it's like, yeah, hey, you want to use Golden Light of Demon Killing, yeah, you're going to have really high salvation. But if you don't have that salvation, it's like, you're not going to have it. We're just going over the new game. I don't know what to call it yet. But whatever it's going to be Crisis X. It's going to be some Crisis something. And so far, what the basic idea of this game is going to be is GTFO by way of SMT. Law and order have come down from, the heavens and hell to wage war upon Earth for humanity's salvation without anybody consulting humanity on the matter. You're a bunch of chuckle fucks in the middle of things, and you're expected to die. You have a bomb collar strapped to your neck. Go out there and kill some demons. Yeah, pretty much. It is... I was gonna say it's gonna be a little bit more of... Ironically enough, it was because I was going over the... It's because I was actually talking about this. This was the SMT TRPG. I was talking about this last time, and I was kind of going over it with a friend who... He's getting more into this, unfortunately, and I'm like, yeah, this is kind of like what SMT is. And I kind of looked at it for a bit. I'm like, you know what? That does look kind of baller. Like, this does kind of speak to me on a level. Like, yeah, you're just a regular dude doing this, but instead of being, like, strictly heroic or anything like that, you're just... these dudes. Like, it's a little bit operator as fuck, but it's like, yeah, you're just a bunch of guys who are expected to die. Kind of drawing in that little bit of that Chainsaw Man influence, which is like, you're kind of the dredges of humanity. So this is SMT if no one was a demon summoner. Yeah, no, that's not a thing. Yeah, it's a SMT, except we're fucked. Yeah, that's the secret there. It's like, oh no, what do we do against these demons? Like, I guess we'll shoot them with this gun we have. Or we just, like, get in there and, how do we kill this angel? Well, we're gonna shoot it and maybe it'll die, if we're lucky. Or at least we can tell it to fuck off. It's the, effectively it is the, burning will of mankind versus the cosmological war of reality. Yeah, except you're not really cool. It's not like, yeah, believe in the me that believes in you. It's more like, please don't die. We need you to succeed. Because it also lets, the thing is, it lets characters roleplay without the baggage of being a quote main character. You're expendable. You're just another guy thrown into this situation. And it's like, yeah, how do the dregs of humanity fight a war that we really don't think we can win? Like, you don't. You fucking, do not go quietly. The name of, do not go quietly was actually going to be the, kind of the project name for this originally, when it was kind of first, a power suit game, a power armor RPG. It's like, yeah, do not go quietly. Fucking rant and rave. You don't want to die. They don't want you to die either. Everything else in the world does. I think that could be a little bit interesting. It also, Crisis of Faith as a name, maybe that's a good one. There's a few ideas for names. I will be debating on what it is after we kind of hammer some more ideas out. Luckily, magic and techniques are easy. Now, this is where things start getting odd, which is the idea of the crisis ability. I should say I don't want to touch the crisis system. But the basic idea is of the crisis system is bad thing happen, get CP, get crisis points, spend crisis points. Good things happen. So that's the most basic understanding of the crisis system. Bad thing happen, get crisis point, spend crisis point, good thing. Now, what I was thinking, instead of, going oh no, I've been sodomized, I've been sodomized. It's instead going to be like, I'm bleeding to death. like I'm bleeding out. Or, instead of things like that, instead of crisis heroin, it's, hey, like, I can't feel my arm, like, oh, like, arm loss. Like, you've just lost control of your fucking arm. Like, yeah, you can't move it anymore. Hopefully hopefully you have a one-handed weapon. Or it's like, oh, and you can probably what I can do is do, like, severities of crisis. Because it'll be like, oh, like, arm injury. You take a big penalty anytime you're using your arm to do something. Oh, you want to lift something? You're taking a penalty. Oh, you want to push something open? You're taking a penalty. But, like, arm function, on the other hand, is like, oh, you can't use your arm in general. Like, it's just fucked. Have fun climbing a ladder. Like, someone is going to have to support you climbing a ladder, or it's going to take you a lot longer to do something like that. Or, the biggest one, which is like arm sever. Like, yeah, you just lost your fucking arm. It's gone. You're bleeding out. Like, you need, like, a severe amount of help. But it's going to be like, oh, you're going to get, like, 1 crisis point. You're going to get 2 crisis points. You're going to get, like, 4 crisis points doing that. But that's the idea. Crisis points. You need to build up that crisis to get more. Yeah, losing an eye. Your arm gets possessed by a demon. You're expected to get completely fucked up. And going from, like, session to session, it's like, yeah, okay, we've fixed ourselves up. Like, my eye has been repaired. I have my arm has been fixed up. You can do that. You're going to continuously kind of change over the course of the game, which is coming down to things like, yeah, you can do, like, things like, oh, I'm going through a crisis act right now because I'm more machine than man. You want to get a few crisis points to just have them. Crisis Revelation's a good one. I will say, not Revelation Crisis, Crisis Revelation. Because again, Crisis has to go first. Crisis Heroin, baby. That's how it works. It's kind of just that idea of, like, yeah, you start off with a pretty standard character and you get your fucking arm ripped off. But here's the big thing. This is the big thing. You are not necessarily expected to die, but it's like, yeah, going through and having, your character kind of get slowly replaced out is something that's going to happen eventually. You're going to go down, but every single option you do for a crisis is your choice. Because that's one of the big things about the crisis system that always fascinated me, is every crisis is your fault. If you take if your arm gets ripped off, it's not because a demon hits you with the arm rip-off technique. No, they hit you with an attack that did HP damage, and you deliberately chose, my arm's coming off. And I think that's a fascinating idea, because what it's effectively saying is, pretty much the game, I want the game to hand you a gun and say, blow your fucking kneecap, shoot yourself in the kneecap. And you're going to be able to walk out of here alive. If you don't, you're going to just die anyway. So you may as well do something with a chance of survival. Even if you get crippled. Like, that's the only... Like, every problem you take is going to be your fault. And I think that's a good idea. And I think that is... I'm going to give it, I think, a little bit more of a... we don't need... Luckily, we can actually use a lot of this, the crisis ability, and change the names. Like, a lot of the fun fact, like, a lot of these can just be changed, like, can just be ported over 1-to-1 almost. It's like, yeah, like, fucking, like, Final Strike. Final Strike works just fine. Like, pretty much all of these work pretty solid. I would say, like, I could probably add a few more to be like, you can, like, survive. Instead of invincible, I might up the cost of invincible a little bit and then throw in, like, slower, like, a few other ones to increase it. like, oh, this is going to stop bleeding. This is going to stop this status effect. This is going to stop this status effect. Or maybe something a little bit more more like working together instead of just wish. It's like, yeah, like you use this, your friend gets your friend gets a thing. Hey, you do this. Get that? We can expand out the crisis ability system. Also, hello Hoff. Yeah, this is the Hoft version of Crisis Heroine. Hopefully everybody enjoys the Hoffening. Yeah, most of these can also work pretty easily, just converting over. Because that's the beautiful thing. That's one of the tradition. Yeah, again, there's a few ideas. See, this is the I think you can kind of see, like, Crisis Heroine is not a complicated game, but it's fascinating. Like, equipment, like, if we kind of go, yeah, every crisis is your fault, then the actual, like, expand, if we expand the crisis axe out a smidge, it should be fine. Because the thing is, I'm not necessarily looking for this to be like this, oh, well, I want to make this, like, huge brand new game using it as base. This is a proof of concept. The ultimate goal, whether or not this is a noble one, is prove Crisis Heroine can be converted into a quote SRD. Can we take the basic concepts of Crisis Heroine and turn it into another game? Because if we can do that, and we can expand out the ideas, we have a brand new system to play around with now. And you can slowly chop pieces out of it. The assured action system, crisis system, the full how the combat works, character interactions work. Slowly you can slice some of those out, and later on it's like, hey, I want to design a game which is about characters going to fucking die horribly. I have just the system for you. Here's the crisis system, the crisis SR, something like that. Most likely, I will have to put the original author on here as be like, this is the guy who actually wrote the game. I just made it available. So if we do, like, equipment's gonna be pretty. I think equipment wise, like, if we go under like equipment. Like, it's very simple. Like, yeah, because the idea behind the cost is, like, you need to, like, if we open up, like, we need to expand. Like, I think the big thing is, like, we need to expand equipment options. Most notably, we need to add, which is going to be the idea of, like, if I were to be, like, a conservative soul, effectively, if I were to be saying this, which is expand the, because you see, like, the special effects thing over here. Like, very few, only one weapon has a special effect. Only a single one. Only the cane has one. But I think, like, you could probably add in other special effects here to just change the nature of the fight. Even if it's just down to, like, hey, this weapon, this has a +2, this has a +2 power versus flying enemies. Or, hey, this has +2, this can be, like, can, for a action, can switch between melee and ranged attacks. Or, hey, this has, like, burst fire, which allows you to attack up to X enemies. Like, even if it's, like, little things like that, we can still keep it in the system. That's fine. But we can also add things like, hey, you have, like, hey, this does, +2 power, +2 power versus, demons. That's kind of an interesting idea, but it's like, oh, this is +2 power versus law, +2 power versus, you can add little things, even down to the fact of, like, yeah, you get +2 to all X roll. This is just magic equipment. So unique weapons with the unique effects, with the idea being that human equipment is reliable and tech heavy. Law equipment is direct and pretty much the best way to think. Like, law equipment I want to be is very direct. Like, this is a weapon built to do one thing, and it's going to do that one thing. And yeah, chaos equipment's like, oh well, this like gun, this chaos gun I have allows me to switch it to a melee weapon that does have different effects, or I could switch it to do something else. Like, okay, but the thing is, they're just fucking weird, and you might take a penalty to something else. It's like, yeah, you have a terrible penalty fighting anything. Hello, how are you? I'm doing good. Katana need +4 damage versus everything. GM, no, it doesn't actually deal extra damage. No, maybe poison diva. Yeah, exactly. Like the law equipment is like, here's a bigger number. This, instead of doing 3 damage, this does 6 damage. Doesn't do anything else though. You know, chaos equipment is, you're going to be doing like debuffs. It might actually do less damage. Instead of doing like, oh, 3, it does, 4 or 5 damage. It does 1 damage. Like, you'll roll the dice. Like, you only will roll like 1d6 for damage. You don't do any more. But you roll on the chart and be like, yeah, it does poison damage this round. It does this. It does bleed. It explodes in your fucking hands because God hates you. And shit like that. Like, I think that could be a fun dichotomy between all the equipment. Because if we go down to like equipment, hello Hoff. Like armor, I still have no idea where this came from, by the way. Like, I have zero idea where this is. But like armor wise, what I was thinking about doing is kind of keeping the basic cost, but like, yes, there is going to be like your like chest AP, and then probably do like arm AP, like AP, and then like head AP. You have like, each piece of armor has a little bit more going on with it rather than just chest and waist. But you're also going to have that, that crit value, that direct hit value over here still. That's still something we kind of got to worry about. Which is like, usually, I think the idea there is going to be higher AP equals, pretty much equals less effects. Less effects, but lower AP equals effects. Like, you're gonna get something by having just lower things there. It's like, yeah, right here, like armor suit, for example, has 20 and 18 health. Like, that's a lot of damage, but you don't get any bonuses. But if you go with the Kanoshi suit, you get a bunch of break trap and anti-trap, and you get a bunch of d6 for the different checks. Probably we can expand this out as well with the same kind of differences. Like, yeah, chaos armor sucks, and you're going to die wearing it, but chaos armor sucks, but you're going to survive. Mostly of what happened there? Yeah, probably we're going to have to do something like this. Luckily, how the mod system actually works, I can add in a bunch of new mods to just modify the basic ideas there. Possibly body AP and head AP. Yeah, that's one of those ones I'm gonna have to like kind of sit down and be like, what's the best option? There's a lot of options. I think that's one of the appeals of doing something like this. I was thinking about doing like, oh, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, doing the whole, more martial arts. Getting another phone call. I'm getting worried now. A lot of conversations about food today. I'm going to be making pancakes, eggs, and bacon after. It's going to be very good. I'm going to give myself the good old-fashioned slamwich, you know, I guess. Yeah, let's see. This is going to be one that's going to be a little annoying to do. I mean, SMT's got a pretty extensive element. So, I mean, SMT element. Like, it's got a pretty extensive one. I don't know which one I'd probably be using, because, like, this is the most, like, you know, the standard elements of the SMT series, which is physical, fire, ice, electric, force, light, dark, almighty. If we want to go a little bit, like, deeper and more hardcore with it, we can do something like this. But we're getting into, like, Devil Survivor, Persona. I probably am going to keep with the absolute, like, simplest. Just like this. I think this will work pretty well. There could I could probably use my one elemental affinity chart, because if I have that chart, I'm going to keep fucking using it because it's just good. It does its job. Is the gun physical split? Is the gun physical split in play? Oh yeah, I forgot. Persona 5 added the gun, the gun ability. Most likely it'd just be physical. Like, physical, the idea would be like, physical is an element. The generic element. Like, it's the not anything else kind of thing. But, like, that's, like, one of the big things when it comes to, like, Crisis Heroine, is that you get a lot of these, like, oh, if you have, it's like the fucking Mimi, jewelry. Oh, you have the Neko Mimi jewelry. So you do this. Oh, you have the Inumimi one. You have this. Like, that's like a few of them. Like, I can actually expand this out if we kind of go a little bit more aggressive with the system. Hello, Hall. Crisis Axe, I would say the hardest one is going to be, this is going to be the hump, by the way. This is going to be the hump. And I don't mean it in that way. Because the thing with the Crisis Axe is that, as you can see, there are quite a few of them. But here's the most important idea. Here's the most important thing. At its absolute core, all a Crisis Act is CP gain, SP, like kind of like bad resource, bad resource gain, requirement, battle use. That's all it is. So if we want to do like broken arms, CP gain, it might be CP gain 2, like you can call it like desperation or something like that. Desperation could work. Like desperation, like 1 requirement, it would be HP it'd be like requirement, HP damage, battle use, like, yeah, even some of these don't even have requirement, none, battle use, HP damage. Like, this is like the most simple one I could think of, and just the idea being, you can no longer use that, that arm for the remainder of the, I guess we'll call them like encounter. Like, very simple. Now the thing is, some of these don't actually do anything. Like, oh, that, like, yeah, wow, look, fucking obscene fruit, wow. This doesn't fucking do anything, actually. You just get this. This is... The raw mechanics are just this. These are the only thing that matter right up here. Nothing else matters. My things would probably be, like, here's the Crisis Act, here's this, and, like, here's, like, a 2-line, like, maybe, like, a sentence, like to kind of like do it. And some of them are not even going to be anything. You know, you could have like just like horror, for example. You gain, you know, CP1, desperation, you know, desperation 1. You know, requirement, you know, none, battle, you know, battle use, you know, battle use, enemy encounter. Enemy encounter. That's it. There's no special effect with horror. You just get it for a little bit. It's like second you encounter an enemy, you can start becoming a little bit frightened. Something is going wrong. You're kind of like that tension is building in your body, and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. I would say, like, luckily we can probably get in. Like, let's see, how many are? Like, how many are? We go here. So we do like this number of crisis acts. In total, there are let's just say like category A. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There were 7 in category A. Category B, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7. Let me guess. There's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12. C, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 there. Category D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Full 8. Category E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17. I count twice. Let me see. So this would be category F. So general crisis acts would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 9, 10. Category FG. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. 7. So in total, there are good chunk. Let's plug it into the magic calculator, everybody. So if we do this, if I'm doing my maths right, that's just if I have my notes here. If I'm doing my maths here correct, because I'm bad at math, everybody. If I'm fucking terrible. That's 78. Effective. Let's just round up to, like, let's say we just have 80. 80 divided by, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're looking at about like we're looking at about 10 acts per fucking, like, if we do the idea of like 10, like even like 10 like crisis 10 crisis acts per like thing, effectively, per category, in which we could probably, like, that should be a good amount, because if we do things like bodily injury, mental injury, soul injury, even down to things like that, like what we're gonna, let me see, like what else could we actually, bodily, mental, soul. I guess we could add spirit, like spirit injury. More like, this is more like obviously we're gonna have like general, which is bodily injury is I got my arm blown off. Mental injury is I'm freaking the fuck out because I'm fighting something. I'm fighting a fucking angel and we're losing. Soul injury is something has got, like, something, the fucking magic creature has done something to me that I do not appreciate, and something very bad is happening, kind of, to me, the person. General would just be events that occur. Hey, somebody dies. Somebody dies in a fucking horrifying, gory fashion. You're gonna, be able to get some crisis points out of that, but some died. Like you're 7. Yeah, I'm kind of just breaking it down to like very basic ideas. Like, actually, that could be a very good one, which we can do like law and chaos. We can break it down like that. Like, yeah, you have judgment cast upon you. You are fighting an angel, and you've killed an angel. You have something, you've killed an angel. Now something bad is happening to you because of it. We could do something like that. Like, hey, you are fighting these guys, and they hit you. You are affected by something. Yeah, okay. And then obviously we're gonna have like status. If we do something like this. So again, injury is just kind of like a placeholder term for right now. So I've gotten my arm ripped off. I'm losing my shit. Demons deciding to skullfuck my chakra. My friend just exploded in gore. An angel has cast judgment upon me, and I am now, seeing all my sins happening all at once. A demon has decided to, fuck me in the past, I guess, or something. I'm bleeding profusely, please God, send help. Karma would be, I've committed a heinous act against God, and everything has gone wrong. Like, karma ones would be more like you kind of gotta, like, you have to do something horrendous. Or you have to do something overly selfless. Which is like, yeah, you took a blow for somebody else. You can get there's a karma crisis act for that. Because you did something, you have karma. You're doing something right. You're building up your crisis. But maybe it's something you don't want to do. Because remember, all of these... Like, that's, yeah, it's one of those things like, hell, that could actually even be one, being like, yeah, you have immortality. You're just fucking horrifically mangled half the time. Yeah, you're still alive, even though you can't think properly anymore. Where it's like, okay. And that's kind of the idea of, you getting fixed gradually over time. Because the thing is, not all of these strictly need to actually be, how do I want to word this? Not every single one of these needs to strictly be like immediate, because even here, like, for example, the no panties one. There's a requirement where it's like you have to be wearing a skirt. Where you can do like, yeah, you have to be wearing heavy armor, and you get hit by a crit. You're gonna start panicking because, hey, my armor isn't holding. I'm losing my shit. Something bad is going on. And some of these are actually pretty standard. Now, SP, on the other hand, actually, if we do... Now, again, calling it like 10 crisis acts a fucking... Like, 10 crisis acts a category is a little... That's aiming for the sun a little bit, but it's a good idea to just kind of get the basic concepts out. Like SP game, that's where things started getting a little bit hinky. If we can call it something like, I would say we can either call it like desperation, or if we want to keep like the SP moniker, we could do something like we call it like sacrifice. I mean, if we want to get like keep it on what it is, we could call it sacrilege. Like your sacrilege points. It's like you defied you've defied heaven and hell, and because that you're not having a good time. Not exactly sex points, but sacrilege points. That would be like, yeah, you know what, fuck, let's keep with sacrilege points. Let's keep amping up the, I think that works. SP gets converted there. Yeah, even things like that, you know, like, yeah, like scapegoat, like how much damage you take, everybody else does, and shit like that. Hell, even things like one of them would probably be Lazarus. That if like, yeah, you get reduced down to 0 HP, you come back to the number of fucking crisis points the amount of crisis points you have, you just come back to life with that much HP. So it's like, yeah, cool, I'm Lazarus. The problem being is you're fucking Lazarus, and now you have no crisis points, and you're probably not that high at health. We can get into some weird bullshit Christian. We can get into some weird Judeo-Christian and like just vaguely religious bullshit all throughout. It'll be great. Saint points. See, no, one of the ideas with this is that this needs, like, this is the negative. This is the negative. This is the problem. Because if we go to the PDF here, if we go to like, we got all the way. Session flow, not combat. Sounds right here, the SP role. Heroin count. No, that's wrong. Defeat and corruption. It doesn't mean serious injury or near death. Instead, represents a complete lack of energy to fight back against a foe. We're going to skip this part right here. We're gonna skip that. Make a corruption roll. Pretty much, like the corruption roll is literally like, this is going to be kind of like a combination of, this is your fighting, your fucking fighting spirit. It's the idea of I will not go quietly. And you could be completely mauled, but as long as you are making this check, you're gonna keep getting back up, because you will not go quietly into this good night. Affection. Right here, this is the idea. The target number of this roll is the heroine's total SP. And that's what I'm thinking, like sacrilege points, which is like, yeah, your sacrilege is like 18 because you've taken a bunch of these crisis acts over the course of your character's history, and you might be rolling like 12d6. Like 12d6 versus 18, that's pretty rough. That's something. And if you fucking fail, you're out of commission. Like you get hit by that nasty fucking strike and you are out for the count. You are bleeding to death. You've been fucking torn in half and you're not gonna make it. Sin points. Ooh, that's good. Oh god, that's good. Ooh. Sin points. That's why is that so good? Fuck. Sin, I can't really think of like what to do for like sin, like SYN. I think sin, like this sin points. I'll think on that. Sin points seem like sin points versus sacrilege points both have their own like both are good. But yeah, like this is like one of the main things. It's like, yeah, you gain too much of this, you're out. All right. Hello, who is pinging me? Hello, Ira, how are you? Deep doing her best and fail. Oh yeah. Don't quite know what I want to name that yet. You can get the idea. Sure to action. Okay, it's slowly coming together. Advancement's been pretty easy. Imprint's gonna be a problem, but here's the beautiful thing. Imprints should be fine if we build up too many sin. Like, you build up too much sin, you're gonna get an imprint. Okay, and some of these are gonna be pretty easy to understand. Like, there's gonna be like, yeah, you have a sin here, which is, yeah, you have a demonic arm now, and because of this, you have available crisis. You're going to get more crisis X because your body is slowly turning into a demon, become demonically tainted, or you've gained something on here. You hate demons or terrified of demons. Yeah, we can do something like that pretty well. Magus, monsters. Monsters should be actually pretty simple to understand. And we should be able to actually convert almost everything over 1-to-1. Because generally speaking, it's pretty easy. Because if we go into the idea of like, because it's easy to make a monster. Like, that's the fun thing. Like, it's actually very easy to make a monster. Like in Crisis Heroine, is like, here's all the battle stats, and here's what you like. This is what you just gotta pick. Okay, this is all we need to do. Like, we just need to use the monster creation rules and added a bunch of little things. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. We're good. We gaming. Will I add in like the side stuff over here? Probably not. Traps, you know what? I'm gonna add, like, I'm gonna make a point about it to like expand the trap system. Expand a trap system. Which does sound funny, but actually we need to do expansions. End quote. Traps don't actually have that many. We can probably do like expand the trap system, because traps work in like a battle. When the battle starts, the trap activates. For example, like the poisonous needle or whatever, or we'll say the poisonous needle. You need to beat its DP. You need to pretty much be able to break it. But once you do it, something happens. Hey, you have to make an avoidance check real fast. Okay, the battle has begun. Something wrong has gone on. You've been hit by a fucking needle. Before the battle begins, with a bunch of demons, and you round the corner, and there's a fucking blade that jumps out, and half your fucking body's just been. Suddenly now you're maybe panicking a little bit. You're bleeding out, like you're bleeding now. Blood. We're fucking covered in the shit. You are not having a good time. Something bad has gone on, and we can expand out the trap section, I think, quite a bit. Like, what's the relationship system? Where's that? Because like relationships are like, they get like a fucking like single like, they don't even get a paragraph, I think. Like starting emotion. This is pretty much it, like, emotion wise. Like, what else do we talk about emotion with? The only time emotions pop up are during that. So we're going to expand the emotion / relationship. Probably what's going to happen there is going to be like, you're in a team and we're working together. It's like, you're going to have to manage the fact of like who you're working with, who do you trust, because feeling how we're kind of SMT, you're going to have people who are like toward law, toward this. Expand. We need more traps. All I'm saying is maybe that Catboy game was a mistake. Like, Need more. More. So yeah, so combat really doesn't need. Because if we go into the idea that like combat's pretty simple. So first round or turn order, character turn, attack with weapon, use spell. Yeah, so this is it's one fucking page. So we're pretty good with combat. We can probably expand some combat. Probably add in rules of like, hey, you've ambushed enemies, or hey, it's things like that. We could probably add in like, yes, you've ambushed the enemy. They've ambushed you. Something bad is going on, or probably like maybe maybe some finagling with a quote map with a quote maps. Finagling. Yeah, there's probably something I can do with maps, kind of like give a little bit more nuance to the idea of like, yeah, when shit hits the fan, you might be surrounded. And it's like, okay, so now we have to deal with that. Rather than like you're in a line, you shoot, you kind of get hit back. It's like, yeah, how do we fight the, get the idea of like, how do we fight the towering angelic nightmare creature that's has a million eyes, gazing upon our sins and wishes to enact a unholy justice upon our assholes, like is also comprised of flaming swords or whatever, like how do we fight this creature? The answer is don't be near it. Yeah, it's like, yeah, don't don't be near the thing that wants to like violate your insides, and that could be something you have to kind of worry about. It's like, yeah, we got to kind of avoid the giant evil monsters that want to kill us. You have the intrinsic and important benefit of not registering on anybody's radar. You are going in there fast and quick. You are rats, and you need to get the fuck out of Dodge quickly. And if you do engage some of these guys, you need every advantage you can get, or you need to make sure that they mitigate you, or you can mitigate all of their advantages. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good with this, actually. Now, kind of like taking some time to really kind of think about it and hammer some ideas out. I am not concerned necessarily. I'm thinking that maybe I think it's going to be the crisis system's going to probably be one of the problem children. Just because of, we're adapting effectively from a hentai game. We're trying to make a hentai game more legitimate. I think that's going to be a little bit wonky, but it shouldn't be too bad. I think it's going to be a lot of equipment. I think that's going to be its own issue. I think is this going to be a lot of equipment autism going into this, which luckily I have plenty of equipment autists to worry about. So hopefully that works pretty well. And a lot of naming. I think naming is going to be its own issue. I'll probably consult with some people being like, what do you think is a good name? What do you think is a good name? But like traps, I could see traps being more consistent. Like, hey, here's more things going on inside the fight. You need to deal with it. Especially if you consider traps to be more along the lines of like environmental features. Because we can probably even expand that system out further with the idea being like, hey, there's cover here. Because there is cover here, you can, quote, use cover to do something. But you have to, kind of spend maybe you have to spend an action to do it, which is an issue. You need to spend an action to use that quote trap to do something. Yeah, I think you can expand this out a little, make it work a bit more. And okay, I don't want to touch the crisis system much. I don't want to touch combat too much. I want this is going to be a pretty tight, pretty easy to understand game. Let's see, like, Crisis Heroine is 69 pages. You could laugh now. And most of that, really, if I were to be conservative about it, like, that's not, like, the game kind of ends at page 39. Like, this isn't actually, like, a very big game. So if we kind of use this as a kind of idea, we could probably get this game in under about 40, 50 pages? Yeah, but we can get it to be 50. I'm thinking we can get this to be 50 pages pretty easy. That's my goal. But I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling really good. Because with this, if I can get this to work properly and everything sings, what'll happen is that it'll justify its existence, and then we can convert it to the SRD. Arguably, that's going to be one of the more important aspects is, hey, we've done this, congratulations, now we can make this a system reference document for future products. We have created a method to do this. If you want to use the crisis system, you can, just as much as you can use the center system. Any of the other things. Let's see, what do I need to, like, I've been saying this, like, I need to SRD things. I do know for a fact that Bloodcoin and Steel needs an entire fucking rework at this point. I just need to clean everything up. I think everything works in this game pretty well. I just need to make it an SRD to kind of like summarize everything nice down. Arguably, I could probably just do this. I do have access to more ready art. I will actually have to check along with some Stable Diffusion people, because that's what I use, is Stable Diffusion, and I could probably PDF this entire thing. Yeah, this is probably my longest game at 111 fucking pages. Probably the like full on version will be a lot tighter, and this is already like, fucking god, holy shit, it's been so long. It's been 85 years. But yeah, this getting SRD'd would be one. We have, let's think. If we go to things Notepad wants to do. Oh, I forgot about Catman. To like SRD meet, yeah, SRD meet. We have and then we have the JRSD. One day the JRSD will happen, which is just gonna be it. It'll be Kino all around, boys. We're gonna make it, and it's gonna be hilarious. See, the best part is with the JRSD, what I get to do then is I will probably end up contacting the guy, being like, hey, I know you don't really give a shit about the, fucking Dallas role-playing game. I know it's been years. However, I want to work on it. I want to make this a thing because of you, we have all these story games now, and I want to like emphasize like we're gonna make it, Kings. We've done it. Feeling pretty good. I'm feeling really good, actually. Yeah, let's. Oh yeah, I should, because I'm here and I can talk about fun things, even in a weird illuminated manuscript style. Yeah, I would like, see, that's one of those ones, like, the actual Bloodcoin and Steel, my design, like, my design was always going to be either A, go full medieval on it, or kind of have that, more sketchy art style. Like, I love really sketchy art. Like, I was really happy when I've been able to, kind of get, I've been able to force Novel to do some things for me. I've been really happy with. This was yesterday. This happened. I got this the other day, and I was so fucking happy. Like, this looks really good in my opinion. I think, like, her hair is a little fucked up, but I like the sketch. I like kind of the sketch art style. I've always enjoyed this way of doing things because I don't know, it gives a lot of character to it. And I was thinking about doing something like this, but like really heavy sketchy. Just because I thought it would look cool. But yeah, like the illuminated, for those who don't know what illuminated, this is illuminated manuscripts. You've seen these before, most likely, or at least like saw them in books, but they're effectively books that were drawn to help people like read them. And the thing is, way back in the day, people actually had to draw these, and people actually, you didn't have like a printing press to like print books constantly. It would be like a monk. Yeah, it would be like a monk who would sit in there and do these. I know there's a few funny ones of these where like in the margins you find monks still like bitching and moaning. Like, there's one with a dick drawn in it because it was like a young monk who just drew a penis in like one of like these little fleurs because mankind, no matter where you are, will always find a way to draw a dick. Like, there's a few. Like, I always find it funny. I like the illuminated manuscripts. I think they're very pretty. Commission scribble for your Crisis Heroine game. Yeah, it's just bored monks. Like, that's literally what it is. See, there is one person I found the other day. I'm going to shout them out, actually, because I can do this, because I'm me. Go me. This is Bread Destroyer. I was looking at her stuff the other day, or him. I don't fucking know who it is, but I was looking at stuff like this, and I love this kind of artwork. I think it looks nice, a little bit hard anime. Which some people are really gonna like, some people aren't really gonna like. Like, oh, we can do generate work in progress now. Cool. But yeah, no, like, she's pretty solid. I like her. It's a very specific kind of art style that I enjoy. Where the Crisis Heroine is getting Scribble to do all the artwork. That would be funny. I think Scribble's art would be pretty solid. Now I got to bring up Scribble too. It's just shout out. This is Scribble. We talked about them before. This is their art style. And all the stuff they have done. I actually very like it. It's very cute. They did do porn of this girl though. I will say that, Scribble, you cannot escape judgment. God is watching and he is weeping. Yeah, porn was done of this girl to get like 1 follower on. He's literally me. Yeah, welcome to if I were to do it, it would probably be something a little bit lighter. I was actually seriously considering if I were to do one, it would either I could see them doing what would be that would be where is it? Me on Zolder. Yeah, I would do it for Henshin Hero, but half of me just wants me to keep live stream review now. No, I'm not retweeting anything. Yeah, I would have them do Henshin Hero, but the thing is, I also really enjoy me and Manly's artwork for Henshin Hero. If I were to do it, it would literally just be this on repeat. Yeah, Henshin Hero was a big shit post when it came to the artwork. Half of it's Gachamuchi artwork. Half of it is just random shit posting. It's great. We also did it for... I also specifically requested Manly's help when we did Satan Wolf snake skin. Oh. Hello, phone. What do you need, phone? Yeah, all of the artwork was from The Sopranos, 2.5 Men, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Tweet. I would love a porn game made in the COG style. Yeah, it's fairly cursed. Yeah. Yeah. All of this artwork was just me and Manly shit posting it in paint. It works phenomenally well, actually. God, I did a Will Smith slap. Yeah. Yeah, welcome to the again, there's a few designs that I would like. The only porn games I've read are the unofficial GURPS one and the Christ Hair. If you want to check out more hardcore pornography RPGs, let's see. We've got let me bring up The Curious Case of Degeneracy. Yeah, the Curious Case of Degeneracy. We've got Maesta, the Gravid RPG. This one's this one's just interesting to talk about. Because for all the completely wrong reasons, I do like the fact that I'm the first one that pops up for Maesta, twice no less. Yeah, Maesta's the hyper preg monster girl RPG. That one's just a wild adventure that you kind of look at and you're like, Zam. Zetai Raido is another, that one's ZR, that is Ryu Kamiya's one before Made. That one's interesting to read because it's a one-on-one game with very explicit rules for everything. FAP is an art piece. There really is no explanation. I think everybody wanted the memory hold. A Curious Case of Degeneracy. Carbon Pink. Yeah, then there's Carbon Pink. I'm gonna hit this just to make sure. Am I gonna get dinged on? I don't think I should get dinged. Yeah, this is Carbon Pink by a very certain artist. What's up? Don't be porn. Don't be porn. Okay, we're good. Not too much porn. See, this is give me 1 second. Do not pay attention to where are you? Where are you? Edits. Where are you? Where's the most appropriate image available? I'm just gonna put David Hasselhoff here real fast, just to make sure. Yeah, hello, Mr. Hoff. Giant Fuda cock. Yeah, this is Carbon Pink. This was pretty much 5e Eddie about 10 months ago. Yeah, like, interestingly enough, looks like the entirety of Carbon Pink. I'm gonna click on this. It's gonna be okay. This is okay. That's a big That's a hyper penis, everybody. That's a hyper penis. Got a big. Okay, I'm just gonna hit this. Is this okay? You're not too bad. Okay, you're a little bad. I mean, it can't be any bad than hitting this, right? I mean, what's the Jesus Christ Almighty? Oh God. Oh God. Okay, let's hit this button. I mean, it can't be Jesus. Jesus. Oh God. Oh sweet. Oh my God. It's just an elf. It can't be. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I mean, that's not fine. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Nihilings? That's just a tiefling. Like, these are pretty. Oh, Jesus! Christmas Christ Almighty on a fucking. No! No! The Hoff protects! There was a penis! That's a penis! Why am I here? Why am I doing this to myself? You fucking. This is a porn game. There are no rules. See, interestingly enough, this is not. I can't remember the fucking artist who did this. It's like it is just 5e. It's role playing combat opportunity, carbon pink. Who was the artist for carbon artist? Was it Anne Fox? No, that's not. I'm gonna. Oh Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, there is a very specific there's a very specific artist. It's not Shad. You could like if you were in the know, you know who they are. Can't remember the name. Wonder what these ones are. Can't be that bad. Let me see. Is that a let's check for penis. That's boobs. There's just gigantic knockers. I mean, I can show you this much. Everything else is just gigantic knockers. Just absolute booba. I mean, what's the... Alright, like every now and again you see it like, okay, this looks nice. Let's just double check, make sure there's no penises. Okay. Yeah, like here's what like a Ronin looks like. Like, oh, you're a Ronin. Here's your proficiency bonus. These are your fighters. You want to play a fighter? Cool. This is what you're going to be playing. Here's a bunch of like martial archetypes. You want to play a samurai? Here's what you can do to play a samurai. Apparently, this is just an SRD for the entirety of Carbon Pink. All right, cool. Let's see. Shut-in. I want to play a shut-in. Like, okay. Fuck, you're a slime tank. Cool. I mean, there's a few that are like here's the thing, like this was clearly made with like somebody gave a fuck. That's a giant penis. Those okay, that's fine. Yeah, like there was I'm gonna say like there was heart put into this, but it's like I think you made the wrong call making this just a okay, don't. You made the wrong call of this being just legitimately 5e. Like, there's way too much, like, why is there an influencer class? Like, that's so bizarre to me. Channel of the activist, of the idol, of the orator, of the tagger, of the blogger. Why? Why are we here? Just to suffer? I've seen boobs drawn like this, but yes. He could have made it, yeah, generally speaking. And I remember when it came out, like, people were actually talking about it, being like, why isn't this just its own thing? Like, they have the artwork, they have everything. But then it was like they just didn't. No, I don't think they knew. I think this was like a pretty like. How do I want to word this? Oh Jesus, that's. I think this was a pretty like standard case of boss baby phenomenon. Yeah, boss baby syndrome, effectively. Like, if you've experienced legitimately nothing else, if you have no concept of anything outside of like D&D 5th edition, then no shit you're gonna make D&D 5th edition. And it's like, this shouldn't be like a, oh wow, we could have never fucking seen this coming. It's like, yeah, this is what you know, so no shit, this is what you just... Don't be, okay, no. Yeah, it's like, if this is the only thing you know, then it's understandable that this is the only thing that you could possibly know. Like, and I think that's kind of the sad thing about it, is like, because this is really the only thing that you may understand, or even care to understand, which is another kind of important aspect of it. Like Neon City Nights, Fridge Wheel. Like, yeah, if you want the entire game, it's just here. It's just here. Like, I think that's kind of I think that's one of the issues when it comes to like Carbon Pink. Shut it as a class, yeah. Yeah, it's like the thing is, like, I'm not gonna be like, hey, you're wrong that you don't know about other RPGs. I mean, that's what I like doing. Honestly, this entire fucking channel has been somewhat dedicated to the act of, I want to introduce people to new games. I want to introduce people to new things because I find that interesting. And I would like people to learn more about games, learn about different games out there rather than just like the few big ones. And like, oh, well, yeah, I want people to know that The Calling exists. Like, that's the thing. Like, I like people to know about that. The Calling is a thing that exists. Yeah, even like even with that, like Carbon, like the guy dude doing Carbon Pink, the actual artist I know is doing another role playing game that seems to be its own thing, which I think was because Carbon Pink kind of got shat on. Because I'm like, wow, this is just 5e. I think he decided to do his own thing, which I respect it. I mean, go shine on, man. It's I would like people to learn more about games, these just games in general, really, because there's a lot of games out there that people just, oh Jesus, still going. Yes, you missed me going over the entirety of Carbon Pink and probably getting flagged off Twitch for TNA. Dicks and dicks and tits on fucking Twitch. You missed those. Man, this one's gonna be a fun one to upload to YouTube. Like, YouTube, you don't understand. Please. Just age restrict it, please. But yeah, no, it's I would be I would say that vast majority of games out there does. The demons get a horse cock anyway. Well, I don't fucking why are you asking me for the intricate lore of Carbon Pink? At least they're not tieflings. Tieflings are owned by Wizards of the Coast. Remember that. What was the one they named? It was in one game. They didn't call tieflings tief. They were like demon king, even though they were clearly tieflings. I remember that. That one was fun. But yeah, also here's my list of games that I feel like making one day. Dachimuchi Cyberpunk, with the combat optimized cyberkinetic systems. That Goblin game, yeah. It was you also see at the very bottom there, Space War game. Someone from the fucking porn server was like, "You need to. Does this exist? Can you please make this?" Like, I don't fucking know how to do it. That one actually may end up on the list next. You already made a psychic RPG. The Yick RPG. Nah, man, I need to make real psychics, not the Yick, not the Yick RPG, not Soul Survivors. Axe Studios never responded to me, by the way. I feel so sad that Axe Studios never responded to me. I also still have Manletta T's card game here. I know how to do it. Let's see. We want to go to profile. I'm getting another phone call. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call it here. Godspeed, everyone. I'll see you all later. Ah!